Okay, it's getting dark, so hopefully you can still see me. Not that you need to see me, but anyway, so after that we go to a fast ostinato type thing, where it's more of the band, like kind of, it's going for kind of like a funky vibe, kind of like a lot of the Dirty Harry movies, or that kind of like cop rock thing where, so basically it's like drums and bass with some chords over it. I'll just play it. So this is like short action sequence where they're running to the car. Once again, you know, it's not very subtle. We're just kind of playing it up a little. Well, let me show you what the imagery here. So I'm gonna go back a little bit. So we'll show you this transition. I'll talk about all the instruments I use. That kind of goes with the wipe there. Before we get to the next section, so it's pretty straightforward here. There's not a lot going on. Although there is something interesting I did with the drums that I want to show you, because it's 7/8 to 4/4, but it kind of, what makes it interesting, I think, is how the drums kind of turn it around here. I'll show you. Let me just show you the drum track. So you'll notice that basically it's like 4/4 to 7/8. So if you look down at this drum track here, but since this is 4/4 here, I'm hitting on the and of 4 going into 7/8, which is kind of weird. So it's creating like a polyrhythm kind of thing. So it's almost, it's like 4 over going into the 7, if that makes sense. It seems like where the 1 is actually on the and of 4 instead of on 1 of the 7/8 measure, if that makes sense. So it's creating kind of like a, so if you listen with the bass, let me just play the whole thing. It sounds like the beat it changes its orientation. Hear that? So they're kind of turned around almost, so it's kind of cool, because nothing, the ostinato is not really changing, so it's just sort of where the accents are on the drums. So here's the bass ostinato. Kind of like almost like a 12-tone type thing, very sort of erratic. And I doubled that. There's a bongo track too, which is, I might do live bongos. I mean, it's not that important, but I have a loop now, which is fine. So I doubled that bass with the clavinet. Right, and over that I have these chords happening in the Rhodes. Just kind of like moving in fourths, but it's like flat 9 chords. And like, what did I do? Like sharp 11, flat 9 kind of thing. So pretty dissonant. I had a lot more going on right here, but I kind of, oh, I doubled that with the cello and bass too. I had a lot more orchestral things happening at one point, but it was too much for this. It's a very short sequence, so I didn't want to overload it. But as the car is driving away, I put this glissando down here. Kind of eerie. Kind of hints at the fact that maybe they're not out of the woods yet, but we don't know. Anyway, very dramatic end into the next sequence. So now we make a total 180 into this sort of these memories. So here we're going opposite. We're going very melodic and sort of melancholic, I would say. But pretty simple. It's just like synth strings. Let me go back a little. Yeah, so this next part starts at around 3 minutes here. Let me play it with the the transition from the previous part here, so you can see with the imagery here. Sorry about that clicking, it's CPUs. So there, that note kind of hangs there. And then we get the sense, okay, maybe he's still out there. So at that point, you don't know if are they driving the truck or is he driving the truck. Did we go forward in time? So it's kind of that cool ambiguity there. And we'll talk about the next sequence. So yeah, just to get back to this piano thing, I want to show you what I did here, because this is the kind of thing that you have to, it's good to think about when you're doing film music, is, you know, the transitions especially. But originally, let me show you what I originally had for this. And it's really a simple thing that I had all these things unmuted at the end here, so let me just show you. See, that may not seem like a big deal, but when you take these out, which is just the bass and the chord and the harmony, it creates a lot more tension because nothing is supporting that melody. So it sort of gives the feeling of anticipation. See, now it's just floating there. And you don't have the lows either, so when we do finally come in with this synth sound, or actually it's my sample of the bass guitar, it just works. It's more effective, I think. Very subtle thing to do, but it made a huge difference in the way that it plays out. So let's talk about this next part. This is sort of the Bunnyman's out there kind of thing. He's still out there. A couple things. I have that bass sound here, right? But not to step on the toes of the sound design person, whoever we get for this, but I kind of just threw in this sound of what I thought sounded like the road, kind of. So, there's a fine line between sounds and, the sound design, so hopefully, I don't want to step on their toes with that, but together it's a nice sound, I think. Sorry about that clicking. So just kind of ominous, very subtle. The director said, think Jaws, so which I thought was kind of funny, but it made sense. I have wind sounds coming in there. For now, it's just like a placeholder for when the sound design person gets in there. But okay, so that's that. So that's just pretty simple there. But that's going to lead us into the final section here, which is my original music, which maybe I'll post a link to that in the description. You can hear my original Sunset track. But what I did was I took the original track and I made it more kind of Juno and CS. And that's it. Then we go into the credit music. So let me just briefly talk about the sounds for this. So we have the CS80 doing the melody here. It's a nice sort of plucky kind of sound with a nice decay. That chorus effect. Pretty simple. Nice kind of sevenths and sixths there. And underneath that I have a Juno, this bass sound, which is a very, if you know the Roland Juno, you know this sound pretty well. Have some delay on it too, kind of pushes it along, I feel like. And anyway, I took the same sound and did a filter and lower octave here for this longer notes. So they sound, so you have the bass. So together they have a nice sound. And then I think I probably started with just the piano underneath it. I had more to this. I had this detuned 60 in there, but I felt like it was too much. So I'll show you that anyway, but it's okay, but I don't think it really needs it. But you know, underneath this though, it's pretty subtle. It's hard to hear, but I have the layer of a cello and bass staccatos here, just reinforcing it. Very light, so nothing. And that's it. Let's listen to the entire cue now. So here we go. Okay, hope you like that. Thought it'd be fun for all my Bunnyman fans out there. So yeah, maybe we'll do more of these with different scenes, but just wanted to show you how I approach a scene, especially with this different sort of style here. But yeah, leave some comments if you want to see anything like the analog synths or the modular setup or anything. Just let me know. Love to hear from you guys. Okay, thanks. See you next time. Bye.